bevo.com.
The economy has not been this bad since 1991. So, and with the lack of fresh debt available in the marketplace and the liquidity that you can offer, is this a great opportunity for you to make a lot of money in the next 2 to 5 years?
I sincerely believe it. Very few people are, it's one of the very few benefits of age. It's been so long since we've had a downswing. The vast majority of people do not know how to behave in a downswing. They're not accustomed to working in an environment of fear rather than greed, where actually staying in a job suddenly becomes more important than having the biggest bonus in the department, and so on. I've already seen the benefits of having been around the hard times before in meetings where other people literally do not know how to behave. So yes, this will be a very good time for me. Fishing out poorly run businesses, sometimes very good businesses, sometimes with very poor balance sheets now, over-levered, and sorting them out. That'll be a big business over the next 2, 3, even 4 years. They're unprecedented times we're in. We're probably talking now in the first quarter with actually a GDP decline since 1992. It's a hell of a long time. But it looks like we're in for a deeper and longer than we had in 91 too.
So how bad do you think it's going to get?
I think quite bad. And if you took those sort of 5 years to the end of last year, 40% of UK GDP growth was growth in public expenditure. Maybe a quarter of the growth was from the consumer, from leveraging up his house. Both those, instead of being benefits to growth, are now swinging into reverse. And particularly the public spending one's going to take a long time to sort out. So actually I see quite a protracted downward swing here. Very hard to measure how deep or how long, because that depends on lots of other things. What happens to commodity prices, the oil prices, competitive currencies, and to a fair extent to politics. But it does look as if it'll be longer and deeper than we've had for a very long time.
With these tough economic times, how would you advise your private equity colleagues to actually make money?
Find yourself a good business. Make sure it's appropriately financed to last through as bad a time as you can reasonably imagine. And the probabilities you've already identified most of what you need to know about a deal. So as long as you're only paying a reasonable price for it, you will almost certainly make a lot of money out of that process. It's about identifying surviving businesses and planning for the worst. These are not skills which many people have. Planning for the worst is not something that was really a useful skill between about 1992 and last autumn.
So John, is there anything that interests you right now?
Well, it's intriguing at the moment to start playing around the housing related areas, where there's massive amounts of fear in a market where the downturn's unbelievable compared to history. And we're at a level of house transactions which is basically deaths and divorces. That's about all that's happening. So the house market really can't get a great deal worse. There is an extraordinary amount of fear in it. Prices are somewhere near the bottom. Though in many cases, you've still got surreal positions where you can buy the debt of a house builder at 50 pence in the pound. But you can still trade in the equity, so somebody thinks the equity's worth money. There's quite a few of those around at the moment. So if you can be bothered to do the analysis slowly, carefully, and are prepared to wait 2 or 3 years, you could make an enormous amount of money.
bevo.com